So good morning, everybody. As you will know by now, as part of our lead sponsorship of the North East Contact Centre Awards, we are running some interviews through our Talking Talent business stream. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Ali Devine of Leeds Building Society. Hi, Ali.
Hi. Hi.
And Mark Brannen of BGL Group, who was a judge for the NECCAs last year. Ali, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, well, I'm Ali Devine from the Leeds Building Society. I've worked in financial services for over 35 years now. Started off in finance way back when universities were polytechnics in the finance department, then worked in TSB Trust Company, followed by Zurich Financial Services, and then Leeds Building Society has been my home for 10 years now. It's my anniversary year this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Love working for the Leeds Building Society. I have an absolutely brilliant role. My role is Contact Centre Development Manager. So I'm involved. I see everyone from the moment they walk through the door. In fact, before they walk through the door, because I'm involved in recruitment and then involved in their induction training, the academy, which is the development area that we bring new people into, and then the ongoing development of all of our colleagues, including the management team. Work with social responsibility, so I get to work, we're based on the Cobalt Business Park, so I'm very heavily involved with that, with projects with schools and the employability for North Tyneside. So I love my role. I'm very, very passionate about it.
A busy lady, and that passion really comes across. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And Mark, briefly, your background, you're at BGL and have been for some time?
I have, yeah. Not just said briefly there. I can't compete with Ali. My job is I'm the Associate Director of the Contact Centre Operations at BGL Insurance. So what that means effectively is I look after the people who are talking to our customers and the people who are managing and supporting them. A job I've done for 13 years, contact centre through and through, absolutely love it. And then I have a second role, which I equally enjoy, which is as a lead judge for the North East Contact Centre Awards. Something I've done now for the last 2 years, and again I've had a lot of enjoyment seeing some great people, some great organisations, and it's great to be involved today too.
Great, thank you. So Ali, I think it's probably fair to say that it was Leeds Building Society's year at the NECCAs last year.
We had a great night.
You got 4 awards, I think, on the night.
I think we got, was it 5?
Was it 5? I need to sack the researcher, don't I?
I may be over-egging it.
So many, but anyway, you kind of did steal the show. You stole the show. And we've already interviewed some of the individual people who won awards within your business, which has been brilliant. But you're here today to talk about some of the team awards. So obviously you won the Record Team of the Year and also Contact Centre of the Year under 250,
yes,
with the big one.
I'd
like to focus on that one really, because that Mark was the judge on that one. So I guess the first question is, what inspired Leeds last year? Because I don't know how much you'd done before last year. What inspired you to sort of go for it last year?
Well, the last time we entered was 9 years ago, so I'd only been here a year when we entered, and it was always something that we aspired to. And the contact centre has grown so much over the last decade. And we've been working so closely on lots of different initiatives to make the contact centre just an absolutely amazing place to work. That was our whole focus and our purpose, is you look after your people and your people will look after your customers. Nothing and no one is just a number in the contact centre. So over the years, we've done a lot of work with the Contact Centre Management Association. We've networked a lot. We've worked on lots of initiatives. We've looked at the things that we can make a difference on without having to buy in new technology and things, what is all organic and can grow from within. I think we've worked so hard, especially over the last 5 years. We just thought now is the right time. We do a lot of internal benchmarking, but not a lot of external. And we've started to do some external benchmarking with the Contact Centre Management Association. And we've been on lots of visits. We've actually been into Mark's contact centre just over a year ago, with actually probably 2 years ago now with pandemic. And we just networked and wanted to see how far we'd come in our journey, because we had a big sort of business development and cultural plan. And we just thought we were ready. We didn't want to enter beforehand. We didn't expect to win so much, but we thought the feedback that you get is just fantastic. So we wanted to go on that journey. So maybe look to be placed the following year and so on. So it was, you can imagine, an amazing night.
Absolutely. And Ali, in terms of the writing of the nomination itself, I suspect it's not easy to do that. Were you involved in that directly yourself for the under 250 seats award?
Kelly and myself and everyone. But what we do is we sort of brought up a framework. We went to all the sort of sessions that you run for it to get a good idea. And I think for ourselves, it was firstly, the main thing is understand your criteria for the awards you're going in, because what we did was we got everyone in the contact centre involved. It was very collaborative, and people put forward who they wanted to nominate and the reasons why. Obviously, we had everyone's personal development plans, the things they've been working on, so you've got all of that information there on your people. But it's nice to hear what peer-to-peer think about people and why they think they should be chosen. Then we went through all of the criteria, so we had all the management team involved, went through all of the criteria. And then what I would say for us, it was, don't be scared to switch category when you start looking at the criteria and what the people have done. The criteria is much wider than you might think from just the title. So we found that absolutely fabulous, which is why we put so many entries in, when you look at the criteria, that really is what supports you and helps you. And then I think the other things about actually going through them was we got some really strong hints and tips from going to all the different sessions. One that really sticks out was the so what. Yeah, everyone's doing great things, especially in the contact centre industry. The culture is absolutely phenomenal. So it was trying to pick out, like, the so what does that mean? Make every sentence, because there's not many words that you can use. It's like really difficult. So make every sentence count and make it human. Tell the story and ensure that you've got the stats and the reasons why you are producing such good figures. So it's humanized all the way through. But I actually love writing them because it's so rewarding seeing what you people are doing. And hearing about them and being able to express how good they are in their roles, it's so humbling.
And how did it feel when you've been shortlisted?
Oh, it was unbelievable, because we put on our contact centre team leader mailbox as the address for where the entries would come back into, and we got a couple to begin with, and we were like, wow, we've done so well. We've been like shortlisted in 2 of the categories. It was unbelievable, and the buzz on the floor, and then they just kept coming through, and every category we entered, we were shortlisted in. And we've gone big this year because, like I say, the important thing to us was to get the feedback. So we had gone large, and it was unbelievable. People were jumping up and down, they were crying, and it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, of course. And I guess the judging process last year, we'll bring Mark in shortly. Presumably it all had to be virtual, but tell me a little bit about the judging process for the contact centre of the year.
Well, for the contact centre of the year, again, so we like to go big, because we'd got everybody involved in it, and there was such a buzz on the floor. We did buzz sessions about it beforehand. We collected all the information about it. What did people think? And we picked a theme for it, and we got all colleagues involved in how we would pick the theme, and we didn't really have to think about much. It was our family, because we are a family. So it was, how do we showcase our family? And we had 36 people involved in it, so it was like a military operation to get all of those people. But our colleagues were so collaborative in the department. Colleagues are involved in, we've got so many different initiatives. We have our colleague council, which is independent management team, so they were involved in it. We're very well represented on our diversity and inclusion forums, our gender forums. We have our own newsletter, so we have our own journalists within the department. It was the most challenging thing about it was deciding what was going to go into it, because we had so much stuff.
And once you were shortlisted, the actual judge, so the practicality of the judging process, what was the time scale on that? What were you asked to do when you came to, presumably you were interviewed by the judging panel? What did that look like and feel like?
We had, I think was it a 2.5 hour showcase that we had.
Okay.
And it was, at first we were thinking like, okay, that'll be plenty time. And then when we realized how much content we had practically every meeting room in the building booked out. We had everyone's laptops. It is like a military operation. When you're doing it over technology, you've got to be really well versed and prepared for it. So preparation is everything. And we wanted so many people to be involved because it's their contact center, but not everybody is comfortable just sitting and talking. So we did it in different ways. We would have 2 people chatting together, presenting together, and they felt more comfortable doing it that way. I actually interviewed a colleague who was involved in all of our diversity forums, and she has done so much great work, but wasn't as confident just to sit there and talk about herself. So we did it as if I was interviewing her, and she came across absolutely superbly. And it was lovely working with people. We did a lot of prep with people as well. And I think one of the greatest things about it was, and at this point, obviously you don't know whether you won or anything, it was how proud people felt to be part of it, and how seeing them talk so passionately from the heart about what they do, the different initiatives they've been involved in, and what that means to our customers.
Absolutely.
It's just absolutely lovely. It's such a fantastic experience to go through, whether you win or not. I think you just learn so much more about your people as well.
Good, excellent.
Just amazing.
And Mark, tell us a little bit about the actual judging process from your perspective.
Yeah, I think a lot of work went into making the shortlisting, sorry, not the shortlisting, the initial entry easier. So as Ali says, there's not a lot of words in there. I think what all of the companies that were shortlisted, not just in the contact centre of the year under 250 seats, but in all of the categories did really well, was they talked about what they did and the results they got. And for anyone who's considering an entry this year, I'd keep it as simple as that. And we did see that was the theme of the entrance that got through to shortlisting. In terms of shortlisting, lots of different approaches, and I don't think any one is right. Ali and Leeds did do a great job of bringing that passion for customer service through their people to life. I can tell you 36 people in 2.5 hours.
Wow.
I'm not sure whether I didn't know at one point whether I was being assaulted or whether I was being speed dated. What I will say is, fortunately, they didn't all talk quite as much as Ali. Otherwise, I think I'd still be there now. But yeah, it was really lovely to hear Ali's organisation and others as well. There's so much talent in the North East.
Yeah.
I genuinely think the North East Contact Centre sector is the best in the UK. And as a judge, it's an absolute pleasure to hear, as Ali said, people bringing that story to life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't think of a single better engagement tool, Ali, than going for these awards, going through the process, and then knowing that you've won. So that night, I think, cast our minds back. It had been a couple of years since we'd been together again in the North East, hadn't it? And everyone had their glad rags on, and it was just such a buzz. I think I've been to an awards ceremony that felt so brilliant in a long time. And on the night, how did your guys all feel? I bet the build-up was massive, was it?
It was unbelievable. I mean, obviously, it's like a military operation. The hair appointments, the tanning appointments, the nails.
Especially for Mark.
Yeah, this look doesn't come naturally, ladies.
It was just so amazing. Then, of course, there's all the taxis, there's the drinks lists and everything. You've got to make sure everyone's sort of ready, the changing of the shift patterns. I mean, there is a lot goes into it. And then when you rock up in your taxi and it's like a red carpet, you feel like you're at the Oscars, and there's fire blowers. And like you say, we hadn't been out for so long as a big group because of the pandemic. It was all of a sudden like you've been let out. So I think everywhere it was just euphoric, and we didn't even know we'd won anything at that point. It was just unbelievable. And it's such a great night to celebrate. And I think as soon as the night started, you're sitting around your tables, I think what got me, it was almost like you were so emotional. The video came on that they made of the Northeast, and you felt so proud to be part of the Northeast. All the iconic scenes like Greg's and you know, the Angel of the North, and people are sitting there going, "Oh my God, it's just amazing." The buzz, it was like you're on a high. It was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was such a good night. And how did it feel to hear and to see the Leeds Building Society naming lights?
Oh, just I can't describe it. It was.
Were there tears, Ali? Were there tears? That's what I want to know.
There was hysteria. Hysteria, I can only describe that. And not just from the people that were there, because like I say, we're all very much like a family. We had a WhatsApp group set up, so everyone, and people were, the live stream was amazing. And I hope even if it's like, I hope to do that every year, because you can't take everyone to the event when you've got over 100 colleagues. And the live stream, there was people commenting near the early bits about when we're getting up and down, like Chris looked like James Bond, Chris Bell. It was just amazing. And then when we won the big one, it was just like, we just exploded into the air. I think people were actually,
night.
I don't think we walked up there. We were just actually elevated. We were just gliding along air. And still now, we can't believe it when we see the photos and everybody was up there from the two tables. It's just amazing.
Yeah. And Ali, what sort of, once that had all died down, and then I guess it was Christmas, then January came.
Yeah.
You said that, are you still feeling that buzz? What has it done for the organisation? Has there been a genuine sea change in the feeling and the engagement levels?
Absolutely. I mean, we dine out now, obviously, that we're an award-winning contact centre. When we introduce ourselves internally, we go, oh yeah, it's from the award-winning contact centre. We have so many visitors. We've always had a lot of visitors coming up because of the culture in the contact centre. Everyone who's new to the business, they always come to the contact centre to see what it's like from head office. It's just been fantastic. People feel so proud of it, and you can tell it has lifted the atmosphere in the office. And I think it's given people that, like, great things do happen. It's a really weird sort of concept to try and explain. We're always close-knit family beforehand, always believed in our people, but now it's externally people believe in us as well. And it's put contact centre at the heart of the business. I mean, our chief exec, Richard, was just so over the moon with it. You know, he came on and congratulated us all. Jaden, who's our chief customer officer, who we're all under his umbrella, he was just so pleased. I mean, he paid for the whole night for us and stuff, and was like, yeah, go for it. You know, everyone's so supportive in the society. When we won it, the amount of phone calls we were getting and emails that came through, because obviously it went on our internal site, and then everyone was just congratulating us. People feel so proud. And they've worked really, really hard for it.
Yeah, of course. And it'd been 9 years, hadn't it, since you'd gone for it? So
yeah,
you go for it, and wow, didn't it work?
I know.
Mark, just to sort of come towards the end now, if you could give a couple of tips to any organisations that are thinking of going for the Contact Centre of the Year awards, but are kind of unsure as to whether or not they should or not, what two sort of tips would you give them?
I think first of all, Ali's already touched on this. Have a story. It is Contact Centre of the Year. Contact Centre of the Year. So think particularly about, you know, if you've been on a journey for a long time, and that's great, but what specifically have you done in the last year that would be of interest to the judges? And understand that there are some great organisations, so there will be some things that make you stand out. So what is it that makes you unique and different to the other organisations that we'll see? And probably the last bit is be true to yourself. So if you believe that you are the best for these reasons, leverage these reasons, and those reasons might be very different to those that Ali has outlined for Leeds today, and that's cool. There's no one right answer here. But if you're true to yourself, you will find that when you're talking to the judges, which can be quite daunting, I know I've been in that position myself, it becomes much more of a conversation and a lot less of an interview. And certainly, you know, when I've been talking to entrants, I start by saying, we're all friends, we're really keen to hear your story, just just tell it, and what will be will be.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks, Mark. Sorry, I just need to Ali, can you unmute yourself, please? Sorry, I muted you because there's a bit of background noise before.
Yeah,
just so we could hear Mark. And you, have you got a tip for any organisations that are keen to sort of go for it this year? What would your simple tip be?
Yeah, it would be go for it. The feedback that you get, and like Mark said, the judging process, don't be scared of it. The judging process is absolutely fantastic because it allows you to see exactly how far you've come and how great your organisation is, whether you win or not. I think when you've pulled everything together, I think that's one of the best things for us, was when you pull everything together, you look at it and you think, wow, I'm so proud of what we do. And Brilliant. I'm so proud of our people.
What a great way to end. Thank you. Thanks, both of you. Congratulations again, Ali. I hope to see you at the awards again this year. Fingers crossed.
So we're talking about it now. We've got all the dates in our diary.
Thanks, both.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Take care.